busted. Because, well, we have the sun. I mean, that's the thing we have here on Earth. It's a big, big sun. I mean, this thing is huge. It's like huge. Plus, there's been some solar storms. Yeah, it's like thunderstorms, but with the sun. It's a thing. It's been happening. I mean, we've got Great Aurora Borealis. I think that's how it's called. No, it's not the name of a weird plant you find in the Amazonian. It's actually like these aurora. I have no idea how you call them in English. Like northern lights, you know, these weird lights that appear. Usually you can only see them in the northern hemisphere, but you can see them in British Columbia, BC, Vancouver, because this podcast is broadcasted live in British Columbia. 12 p.m. from Monday to Friday with myself, Piper, and
Sai.
Yeah, who's my researcher on hand. So thank you everybody for being here. Now, the thing is, this sunshine that we have, sometimes it does some weird things, like these sunshine storms, which emanates like some sort of EMPs. That happens. And so we've had some failures, in technological devices because of these sunstorms. It's a real occurring fact. Even if you know about getting like a server somewhere, well, these storms can affect your server. So you can try to get like a special thing for your server to make sure that these sun rays, they don't go into your server. But it's quite fascinating that the sun can emit EMPs in that way. And that happened in Quebec a few years ago, right? 1989? 1989. 7 hours no electricity. So these sunstorms, they kind of make it so that there's no electricity or there's no devices that function in that way. Now, we can't really do nothing about that, but every 10 to 11 years, there is what is called a sunstorm. And we are in it right now. If you didn't know this, we are in it right now. How is that relevant to electric vehicles? Well, we'll get there very, very soon. But let me talk to you about the sunstorms, because it's really interesting, okay? Sunstorms. Yeah. Well, because we have the sun does a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it does the sunstorms, and we are into this like stormy thing right now with the sun. And they say that it's going to become more and more like there. So right now it's every 10, 11 years, but maybe it's going to become even like closer. What does that mean? Well, that means that probably the sun before was kind of chill, you know, it was like, it was giving us some energy and it was all good. But now it might be giving us even more energy. It would be kind of dumb to not use all of that energy, even though it could be bad energy like these sunstorms. It's there, right? It's free. There's sun everywhere. Unless there's clouds, you'll have sun. And unless it's, well, the night, if you know what I mean. Now, if you do live somewhere in the equator, on the equator, like that place on Earth, because Earth is round, for those of you who don't know, and then in the middle of this kind of ball, well, there's the equator, so they get 12 hours of sun, 12 hours of night. Then there's places like Canada, British Columbia, which is a bit weird. It depends. So it depends on the seasons. Right now, we are getting a lot more sun because it's spring and it's gonna be summer. And in the winter, our days are really short. Really shrunken. Like tiny shrunken head days. Which are not as good for sunshine. Meaning that yes, we are gonna talk about solar car myth busted. Solar cars. Because, well, solar, EV, they have things in common, and it is some sort of renewable energy from everything that I've gathered so far. It's going to be quite interesting, because on Two Girls, One Electric Car, we bring you the podcast while you wait. While you wait for your electric vehicle to charge, we entertain you, and we talk about these crazy subjects like solar cars. Thank you for being there. We got Bacardi Bob, who's here, who says fastest EV on Nürburgring. I have no idea what that means, but thank you very much. It's a racing place? So is that the solar bar? Which is the fastest EV though? Which one is it, Bacardi Bug? What?
Aptera.
You think it's Aptera? Not Bacardi Bob, no? Bacardi Bob is not saying... We don't know which is the fastest EV. We have no idea. Robin Petit. Bonjour, Robin Petit. if you speak French, which maybe you don't. It's just you have a last name that is very French. It means small in French. Now, Aptera now has a funding source that should get it to production by early next year. Maybe at the very end.
It's the fastest solar car.
Which one?
Sun Swift 7.
Wow, is that sponsored by Taylor Swift?
I don't know, but it doesn't have tires, it seems. It's very weird looking if you guys Google it.
It doesn't have tires?
It looks like it doesn't have tires. I don't know how it's running.
So maybe the tires are like hidden underneath?
I think they're might be hidden, and they're like, I think really, really small as well.
Okay.
It's title of the fastest solar powered car over 1,000 kilometer.
1,000 kilometer that it can run on solar?
It has run, I think.
Wow, 1,000 kilometers, pretty good.
Yeah, it's in the Guinness World Record.
Oh, yeah. Is it a one-seater? Does it say? It's like just one person can go in it?
Yeah, it's very weird. It's like it looks like you take the body off your car and zoom it across the road. Like just throw it. That's what it looks like.
Okay. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
No worries.
So that's the fastest solar car. Thank you. Okay. Now, Aptera. Yes, a lot of people have been talking about Aptera because it is a solar vehicle, and it is seeking for funding, investment, and all of that. And some people were saying that they're waiting for the Aptera to get an EV, so they don't want to necessarily get an EV, they want to get an Aptera. Robin Petit adds Aptera goes 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4 seconds.
I think those are all Aptera people that spamming our chat trying to get funding.
Oh, okay. So maybe those are all Aptera people spamming our chat to try to get funding for Aptera. That could be possible.
I hope.
You hope. You hope.
Can we be partners?
Partners?
Financial partners.
Oh, okay.
We'll be the silent partners. So when you get the funding, we'll give you an email for our e-transfer. So you just silently transfer in there.
Oh, you silently transfer? We accept everything, right?
Yeah.
This channel is not yet monetized. That is why Sai and I are super open to anything. Please go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/2girls.
With a disclaimer.
Yeah, it's a disclaimer. Patreon.com/2girls1electric-car. We have Robin Petit who adds that Aurora Borealis or Northern Lights, same. They also have them in Antarctica, but they are not as well known. Yeah, it depends where you are on the planet to be able to really see all these colors, these beautiful colors. And since the sunshine has been doing weird stuff lately, well, we've seen some beautiful colors, mostly purple and green in British Columbia. Now, Chemist America Lifestyle. Hey, you remembered? Got the notification from the bell. Woohoo! Because it's at 12 p.m. from Monday to Friday, yes, on our channel. The show that you need to watch and listen to while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge or for your Aptera to come out. But so far, they're not out yet. Robin Petit adds, solar storms are due to charged particles getting emitted by the sun via a mechanism called solar flare. My background is physics, and I once thought to study astrophysics, but changed my mind. Oh, great. Thank you for being here, Robin. This is going to be quite interesting. Robin Petit says, Aptera max speed. Aptera is just over 100 miles per hour. Well, that's fast enough, you know? Do you really need to go faster than 100 miles per hour?
No.
This is fast enough. You don't need to go that fast. I mean, it's not an F1. You're actually going on the streets. You're going on the highway. I don't think we're yet at that maglev level where we want every car to like rush, because we still have pedestrian, bicycles, dogs, cats, birds, I mean other stuff in the way. That would make it really not a great idea for cars to go that fast, because if cars go that fast, maybe people are going to use them that fast, and that's why we lock some of those in some countries. Robin Petit adds, tires inside reduce air resistance. Oh, that's why they're hid inside the tires.
They must be super tiny though, because they look really tiny. Like, you know,
tiny?
when people get veneers and their real teeth are shaved down, like looking like super tiny, that's what it looks like.
What's a veneer?
Veneer, when you see all those Hollywood people have perfect teeth, those veneers, because that's not their real teeth. They shave down your real teeth. So now you always have to have veneer now, and they fall off after 10 years.
Oh, this is great.
It's awesome. But
Okay.
everyone in Hollywood have those.
Yeah, because then you have perfect white teeth.
Yeah,
which
but they're
is
not.
great.
But your own teeth are like
Not there
demons
anymore.
now because they're like, look, they're like this big because they're
Really?
shaved down. Yeah, they shave down forever.
Doesn't it hurt?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, not at the Hollywood level yet. I'm gonna keep my
Yeah.
teeth. My teeth are real. Just so you know. Yeah, not at that level yet. Chris Pankage says correct. Okay, hey Chris, happy to see you again. It's been a while. Yeah, you've been like a MIA. Otherwise, they're copy and paste from Google. What's copy and paste from Google? Like the stores?
Oh, those. I think he's talking about. You said that they're like people from Aptera.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, yeah, it's that, or they're copy pasting stuff from Google.
Oh, that works too.
Yeah.
Some people use ChatGPT to answer. We like that too. We're okay on While You Wait the podcast. We don't mind. As long as you're here to talk about solar cars, well, we're here to talk about solar cars too. So let's do it. Okay. Javier just dropped in. Hey, Javier. Now, Bacardi Bob says the Lotus LV Vija? Elvija X?
Avija?
Which one is that? Is that like a solar car? The Lotus? I didn't know Lotus did some solars. Now let's Google it. We're Googling it. Midnight Smoke, happy to see you here. And Chris Pankage adds solar cells, I think, are at their technological peak. It would take a breakthrough in solar cell technology to make a car as well as we will accept it viable. Oh. And Chris Pankage has brush your teeth, people. Okay, I guess this is a good PSA. I mean, yeah, you need to brush your teeth sometimes. I mean, it's good for you. And Chemist America Life says, I'm Grok guy. Oh, yeah, because you're on X, right? So Grok is the chat GPT of Elon Musk. What? Yeah, totally yes.
Lotus Avija X is an electric car. It's a race car.
Oh, only
Yeah.
race car.
It's a race car. It's an electric beast, apparently.
Oh, electric beast.
But it's like it looks like those Formula One cars. That's what it is.
Okay, so maybe it's a Formula One because they have Formula
it
Electric.
has like some kind of a record for the fastest vehicle.
Okay,
It has the chassis of a production car. What does that mean?
no idea. What does that mean, people? A chassis of a production car. We don't know.
You can make it in batteries.
Oh,
You
maybe.
can reuse the chassis.
Oh,
Oh, they can reuse the chassis. Okay, so that's what it means. This is great. Frame, chassis, same. Okay, great. Will Garcia, hey, thank you for tuning in. We got Robin Petit who adds stuff about the Aptera. I'm thinking maybe able to go over 30% with additional efficiency improvement. That must be about the new tech. There is new tech for solar cells, raising efficiency from 22 to 28% or so. So that's a big leap. Now the Aptera, RP says, is approximately from 1,800 to 2,200 leave. That would be pounds. So I mean, that's still a bit heavy, right? But it's not as heavy as the Model X. Sai, how heavy is the Model X? Model X must be like six, yeah, almost a ton. Like at least a ton.
This is light.
Aptera is super light, right? But it has to be light if like you got people in there.
all right. So Model X is anywhere from 2,510 to 2,562 kilograms.
No, kilograms and pounds don't mix well. Nope, not at all. Okay, but even so, Aptera is definitely lighter. It's definitely on the lighter side. Plus, it's only a two-seater, which makes it so that if you have kids, you can't get that car.
So
They say,
2510 kilograms, which is like the lowest end, is 5,534 pounds.
Yeah, that's a lot. Compared to 2,000? Yeah, still a lot. All right, chassis in French. Yes, chassis in French. If I'll make an electric car, it will be called Pikachu. Well, that makes sense because Pikachu is super electrifying, right? Oh yeah, that's the Aptera. So the Aptera is supposed to be, well, slim in design. It's supposed to be like lightweight. I'm sure this is not the only solar car, but so far it's the one that is supposed to be produced so that you can buy one as an individual normal person and all
I
that.
think it's gonna go in the snow.
I don't think it's gonna go in the snow either. No, I think you need to be somewhere where it's pretty hot.
Yeah, because how is it gonna survive in Canada?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Some people were saying that EVs weren't gonna survive Canada or Sweden.
But
or-
they need the sun.
But that's the thing too. They need the sun. So we're gonna talk about all of that. Solar car Mythbuster with Piper and
Sigh.
on While You Wait, the podcast that you listen to while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge or for your solar panel to charge. Same but different. Because we love to entertain and to give you awesome information. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in. This shall be very interesting. Now, the thing with solar vehicles is that, well, they promise you something that other vehicles don't really do, and that is free energy. I mean, the sun is just there. So you can kind of grab the sun or that light from the sun and then use it as energy. Yes, you have to buy the solar panel or the solar, well, let's say the solar vehicle and use that, but you can literally just, bam, take energy. It's there, it's free, it's almost perpetual. I hope you didn't get that. Okay, perfect. Plus, it's renewable. Yes, the sun is renewable. What do you mean? You got another sun in the backup, Piper? No, but the energy from the sun is just, it's there. So far, the sun is not going to go out until like a few million years. Right, Sai? I think, like, when is the sun supposed to go out?
Oh, is
There's
it
a
gonna go
date
out?
for that. Yeah, there's a date for that. I learned that when I was about 10 years old. I freaked out. Then I realized there's no way I'm going to be there when that happens. So then I less freaked out.
Oh, next Monday.
The next Monday. Oh, that's too bad. So when the sun goes out, which is not right now,
It will begin to die in 5 billion years.
5 billion years. So we're okay. So far we're okay. And if you have or you invested in a car company that is solar, you should be fine. 5 billion years is enough.
It's less than Elon Musk money.
It's less than Elon Musk's money.
If you think about that, it's weird.
It's true. It's true. If you think about that, it's weird because it's a lot less than Elon's money.
Fine.
Yeah, 5 billion. 5 billion. There's a lot more money out there than there is sun years to go to live with. Ooh. Let's not go there. Okay. Bam. So the promise of renewable energy, the sun is always there when it's, of course, it's always there. Then if you're on the wrong side of the planet, the sun is still there. Maybe we could use like some super crazy mirror technology with Starlink, just like the Egyptians used to do, to like put some light in all of these sanctuaries and in these tombs. And we could get sun even though it's the night. Yeah, so this could be a possibility. So that's a great thing about any type of solar panel, is that it's good when the sun is there. Yes, only when the sun is there, but then the sun is always there at some point, sometime. Yeah. So make sure that you tell us about your favorite solar car, if you have one, because there's so little out there, so that we can talk about it in the podcast. Robin Petit says, if it does fine in snow. It is all-wheel drive. Solar power output during cloudy days drops about 50%. So rather than 40 miles per day to 20 to 25 miles per day. Oh, okay.
All-wheel drive, but three.
All-wheel drive, but 3 wheels. It's a 3-wheeler? It's a 3-wheeler? All-wheel. All 3 wheels. All 3 wheels are all-wheel drive.
All 3-wheel drive.
RP says there's a 2 option, a 3 option, a 2 level of solar option. So there's different option with the Aptera. Well, interesting. I don't know what these options do, so make sure that you leave a comment to tell us more about that. If the Fisker can charge 1 mile per day in direct sunlight, and the entire roof is a cell, it would need 300 more roofs to charge 300 miles in 1 day. Or Fisker's technology sucks. Well, this is an interesting, it's an interesting debate, right? We're going to dive into this. Now, Robin Petit again says, I'm talking about Aptera. Also, the graphite composite body acts as an insulator, is easy to keep batteries warm. Okay, so that's good. Meaning that the thing is, well, solar cars, are we there yet? Are we at solar cars yet? We are at EVs. I mean, they're all over. The infrastructure is there. We got companies like Tesla. We got companies like Polestar, Lucid, Rivian. We've got BMW that has EVs, Toyota, Honda. Everybody has an EV now. Everybody has an EV line, and it's getting there. So Robin Petit asks, how useful solar goes to efficiency. Well, that's the thing. So you need to like make it work, make it useful, and make it efficient. The thing is, when you plug, it doesn't matter if the sun is there or not. You're just like plugging. So you're using this electricity, this energy, you're storing it within that battery pack, and then you use it whenever you want, however you want. When there's no more, well, there's no more. The thing with the sun or with recharging with the sun is that if there's no sun because it's nighttime or it's too cloudy or something like that happens, it's raining or it's snowing, well, you won't get that energy. So you won't charge up in that way. So what do you do then? That's the thing. Do you use it as a normal EV? You just charge the battery and then that's it. So the solar would be kind of an add-on. A bit like the Chevy Volt, whereas the Chevy Volt had a generator that was a gasoline generator that would power the battery. So it would always work like that. You could plug it in to charge up the battery, or you can add gas to the generator that would, well, fill the battery. So it's same but different, I'm assuming, but that's why we're going to talk about this, so that we get to know a little bit more about this solar car, because it's pretty much the only one everybody's talking about. And then we'll dive more into what is a solar car, if there are any other ones out there. And, well, let's bust some myths, yeah? You ready for this song?
Excuse me.
Oh, okay,
yes,
bless you.
yes. That was my yes.
That was yes with your nose. Don't forget to subscribe, super easy. The link is in the live comment section, but you can also just hit that subscribe button. Every subscription is totally free. Oh yeah. So we accept all subscriptions from anybody, doesn't matter. As long as you enjoy electric vehicles as much as we do, well, while you wait to charge your EV, we are here to entertain you and, well, to bring you some interesting information about the future of vehicles on Earth. Ooh. RP says Aptera 3WD is fastest. 1,000 range. Ver as more solar panels. Okay, yeah, so that's the thing. The more the solar panels, well, the more energy, so the more mile range. It's like the bigger your battery, the bigger range in general. If it's a newer battery, of course. And then Robin Petit adds, I plan to buy an external foldable solar cell to connect to Aptera. This should double my miles per day. So you're just gonna like stick that on top? How does that work? It's like an add-on. It's like some people put some Need for Speed kits on their car and then you're just gonna add that to it? Doesn't it gonna get you like slower, right?
Where does he live?
Yeah, where do you live? Robin Petit, where do you live? Yes, I'm getting full solar package and 3-wheel drive. Okay, so that's what Robin Petit is saying. That's what he wants. So did you already order it? How did you do? Please tell us more. This is very interesting. We want to know more. So number 1, what are solar vehicles? I know, we need to get there. So what is a solar vehicle? A solar vehicle would be a vehicle that has solar panels on it, so solar cells, so it can gather energy from the sun and then transform this energy into, well, movement, so making your car move. It needs to store that energy. Usually you can't just use it right away, so you're gonna need a battery pack in that sense. I mean, so it's very similar to an EV in that way. And then what we got Chris, who says this Aptera looks like the car college kids would built in the 90s and drove across country.
I have to.
Totally, yeah. It does look a bit like one of these university prototypes type of vehicle.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Like something that you're like at MIT and you're like, we build a car.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
which is a bit like that. And then
Yeah, exactly that.
Chemist America Lifestyle says this topping is making my ears bleed. Oh, that's not cool. It's too much for me. Too much science and technical, but in a way it's interesting. Well, yeah, Robin Petit is really giving us all that science because he studies in physics, so I guess he's like flaring up the science in this podcast. Again, let me re-clarify, Sai and I are just like YouTuber people. Yeah. So we're not like really into, it's not that we're not into it, we just don't have this knowledge.
We're not engineers or scientists.
Exactly, but we do love to get knowledge, and that's why we're here, so that we can talk about solar cars all together. So if you have interesting information about it, well, this is the podcast for you. Bring your friends, bring your family. There's a little share arrow right down there. Click it, paste it, do whatever you want with it, but make sure you share it with at least one person so that we can get this podcast to better heights. Okay, so Robin Petit adds that put it on the ground when I park. Oh, okay. So the external solar panel will be more acting like another battery pack in a sense, but yes and no. It's like a generator. So you take that actual solar panel when you're parked, you unfold it, I am guessing. Then you plug it to your Aptera, and that's gonna give you more battery. So you're just gonna like charge it up with the solar panel in that way. And then he adds that not while driving. I ordered it, and I'm an accelerator. I initially ordered it when it first came out about 20 years ago. Wow, that's a long time ago. And did it 3 years for this version? Wow, this is
Backing up the...
yeah. So you're just backing up the project. So the project has been running for 20 years. The Aptera project. That's a long project. That's a long project. Whew. Will Garcia one says there's a fun movie. I think it's called Chasing the Sun, based on a solar car race in Australia. Pretty fun. Well, thank you, Wills. I mean, some people are gonna get weekend ideas. Robin asks, I'm retiring soon, and I would love not to put gas. I totally agree. Once you go EV, like anything electric vehicle, once you don't need to go to the pump anymore, you don't want to do it. It's something that's like, why would I go there and do that? So not necessary. Such a waste of time. When you can have like the gas pump in your own home by plugging your EV, or well, like you, like having this extra solar panel. But now, how much does it really power up? So let's talk about this. What is a solar car? Now, so it has to be powered primarily or entirely, let's call it like that, by a solar panel. It has to do that. You can't, if it's charging your iPhone, it's not a solar car. This doesn't work. It has to literally charge the battery, and then you need to use that to drive. Okay, so in motion, you're in the car, you're getting somewhere. Then it's okay if it's not entirely that. It's okay if you can plug it, like an hybrid. You know, you plug it in and you also have gasoline. That will still count as somewhat of a solar vehicle. So we won't go like that far of how much solar your vehicle is, because of course you're still gonna need a battery to like keep all that solar storage inside of it. Okay, and now this is just a crazy word that I learned today. Okay, and Robin lives in Pennsylvania. What's the weather like in Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania? I don't know.
Like, is it like a desert? Do they
It's
have
not
snow?
a desert. It's East Coast.
It's East Coast. They have snow there then, right?
Yeah,
They have
I
snow.
think it's pretty close to New York.
Oh.
I think.
Well, let's like actually Google this. So I failed initially, and they restarted about 3 years ago. Okay, yeah. So the Aptera failed initially, and then they restarted it 3 years ago with their website and everything, and they're still looking for funds. And this is interesting. Pennsylvania is like New York. Oh, okay. So
yeah, it does have snow. It has an
not a
average
lot.
snowfall of 38 inches.
Okay, 38 inches. Yeah, that's like, okay. So this is, you get like spring, summer, you get all these things. Huh, interesting. Now, solar is good to park outside for 8 hours at work. Okay, so meaning that if you were, that's from RP. So if you were to buy this external solar panel that will charge or recharge, while you wait for it to recharge your car, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Well,
We can make longer bikes.
I mean, that's going to be 8-hour podcast. Because while you wait to fill up your Aptera, it's going to be like 8 hours. So this is a long podcast. Just listen to our podcast playlist. Yeah, there's like way more than 8 hours on the podcast playlist. We do approximately 5, 6, 7 hours and a half per week of podcasts. So you'll have way enough. You'll have way enough for that. That being said, okay, I learned a new word. It's called photovoltaic. PV cells, and those are the cells that have this capability of getting the sun rays and then bam, transforming that into energy. So this is like a solar panel, pretty much. That's how it's called, photovoltaic. This is super cool. I need to read it because I can't say it in English. It's like my French just comes right back out. Now, Chemist America Lifestyle says Wally is solar powered and FSD. Yeah, Wally was like totally solar panel and FSD. Like this guy was running without no problem. No, Wally was not a drone. He was like completely autonomous. Have you seen Wally, Sai? Yeah.
Wall-E, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie. So sad.
Every time Sai loves something, it has to be sad.
That's so true. Oh my god.
Love that movie. So sad.
She's our Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, she is. Okay, now solar vehicles. So which solar vehicles did you see? I mean, Will Garcia said that there was this kind of race in the sun with Halle Berry. So that was a movie. We've seen also some electric vehicles or some solar vehicles in some sort of weird projects. I mean, never really as like Tesla. But we've seen them. They've been out there. There's also solar bicycles. We've seen those. I mean, we've also seen there's a big thing with solar boats, meaning like little boats that were powered only by sun. And the plane. You remember that plane? That guy, I think that went in a plane, and it was like a one-man plane. Sai, we need to Google this. There's this guy that went in a solar plane, and he was supposed to do like the Earth, like the
Crossing the Atlantic.
Crossing the Atlantic in a solar plane. And that's like the whole point of this was to test the aptitudes or the extent of solar panels, and if planes could get that, because the cool thing with planes is that they always have sun unless you're on the wrong side of the earth. Okay, we get it. Unless it's nighttime, a plane goes above the clouds, meaning that if it's sunny, it's sunny. So if it's daytime, you've got all of this intense solar energy that's there. So why not harvest it?
Okay, so the plane was called Solar Impulse 2, and it happened in 2016.
Yeah.
So yeah, it completed its crossing of the Atlantic by a solar-powered airplane.
But there was only one guy in it.
There was just one guy in it.
There was just one guy. How long did it take him? Does it say? So this plane was only solar panels. So only
70 hours.
70 hours?
Yeah.
Wow, that's long. 70 hours. Like usually when you take the plane, that's not that long. 70 hours.
It doesn't go fast.
Yeah, it doesn't go fast, huh?
To conserve the energy.
Yeah, because you need to conserve
be
the energy.
precise, 71 hours and 8 minutes.
Whoa! You don't want your actual like plane ride to last that long.
No.
What would first class be like? Like a one bedroom?
Oh yeah.
That's just like you need like 70 hours. That's like
And you can't even go out. You can't go out. You can't even step out because you're in a plane.
Yeah, you're gonna fall down.
Yeah, usually, yeah.
So this is a very interesting thing. So they did the solar plane, and then they were like, well, it's great and all, it's doable, but that's just one guy. That's not no bathroom. There's nothing in it. There was like a solo guy in a plane. Meaning, for maybe cargo or for transporting people was not the best idea. I'm not saying we couldn't put a panel to recharge some of like the electronics on a plane, but you still need to like have the weight of the solar panel and all these things. So this is very interesting. Now, Robin Petit adds, beauty of Aptera can charge over 100-mile range in about 15 minutes at a supercharger. The scientific name for solar panel is photovoltaic panel. Oh, this is so cool. We're learning so much science. So I guess that's a cool thing, because EVs sometimes takes a while to charge, especially if you have an older model. Like I have a used Model X 2016 Tesla. So to get to 100-mile range, it's more than 50 minutes. It's more than 15 minutes. It could be less, I mean, at a really, really high supercharger, but then the newer batteries and the newer range make it so that you will be able to charge very fast soon. So that's just a battery thing. So it doesn't matter if you're EV or if you're solar/EV, as long as your battery can accommodate for you to charge fast. That has kind of nothing to do, right, with the actual solar panel. Because if you're at the supercharger, then you're taking the supercharged energy. You're not taking the solar panel per se. Chemist America Lifestyle adds, I'm with Sai. It's sad because it looks inevitable. Oh, that's about WALL-E.
Yeah, WALL-E.
So we're all going to get fat and roll over.
That part is not sad. Humans suck. They're like, no. I'm talking about the robot. I cared about him.
Oh, you care about WALL-E?
WALL-E.
And Eva.
And
yeah, okay. Because he was alone. Why were you so sad about
it was
WALL-E?
not. It was so beautiful, but it was sad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and plus Eve, well, she likes older robots, right? Because WALL-E was so much older than her. I mean, so much. There's such an age gap there, people. If you haven't seen it,
I'm glad you like that part.
of course, I love that part. There's such an age gap. Okay, Robin Petit, the nearest analog for plane for efficiency is the Celera. Can we look that out? Or that upside, the Celera. They are making an hydrogen fuel cell powered version of the Celera. Well, I think this is all like super interesting. Well, energy or technologies they're trying to use. So you got hydrogen, that's the thing, nuclear, EV, which is just a battery bank, pretty much, and then we have solar. So these three things are really, really being, I guess, pushed forth. Because they've been around for a long time. I mean, we've had solar planes, not planes, but cars since like what, 87? Like they've tested some. Solar panels existed, but for it to be like a car on the market that anybody can buy, just like a Tesla Model, whatever, this is completely different. And then, oh, what accent is that? Psy sounds cool. Psy is totally Canadian.
Yeah,
totally Canadian.
Very Canadian.
Very Canadian. Robin Petit, it's efficiency and max current for fast charging. Exactly. So that depends. It's all about your battery pack. The faster you want to charge, the newest your battery needs to be in general. And you need to be at a supercharger. If you're plugged into your 110 volt at home, it's not going to charge fast because you're not giving it that supercharge.
Okay, so Celera is a new plane for like business and utility light aircraft.
Oh.
So the new thing about it, it has a single red A03 diesel piston engine.
So it runs on diesel?
Yeah, in a pusher configuration and can seat 6 passengers.
No, 6 is pretty good. It's like a little jet. It's like a jet. I'm gonna take you on my big jet plane. Now, WALL-E is a great movie, with or without daddy issues. Yeah, totally, RP. I mean, you do whatever you want.
That is like...
I know my taste in men.
I take that personally. FYI.
Oh, you too? Okay, great.
I take it personally.
Just it's good to know that you take it personally too. That is fine. I mean, I don't mind. I like older men. What can I say? It's just a reality. Not all of them, just like a few of them. I mean, I'm not that type of girl. Come on. Chris Pankich. And then came the hailstorm and washed away all your solar car and solar roof away. Chris, I love that you're so pessimistic. This always adds a little bit of, a little bit of drama in the live comment section on the podcast. While you wait for your EV to charge, you also think that solar cars are doomed. Because, well, okay, that's the thing. If you have hailstorms or some kind of like really intense storm, there is a way that will damage the solar cells on your panel, and then it will become useless. But when does that really happen? I mean, it has happened like once.
It's happening.
Yeah.
You should not buy a solar.
Yeah, if you live in a place where there is hailstorms like Quebec, don't buy solar panels in general. I mean, or cover them up when it's that season. Gotta keep it real. I know we live in Florida daily. Yeah, we love your realism. Don't worry, Chris. This is great. I mean, it adds really some. Those are the things you need to think about when thinking about solar. But the other thing you need to think about, I mean, your windshield is also going to be trashed. And I'm sure there is some type of protection on the solar cells, for sure. But again, solar is a bit interesting because if you hide or if you put a layer on top, well, you're not getting as much of that sunlight. So you can't get as much power in that sense. So I guess you want to keep them as, raw as possible in that way. Robin Petit adds, I plan to enjoy driving my Aptera from San Diego to Pennsylvania. Solar cells have been tested by Aptera to survive hail. Well, this is great. See, this makes a lot of sense. You don't want your solar panel to break if there is an hailstorm, and then I'm pretty sure you can get insurance. It's a bit like if a tornado happens, well, of course your car might fly away. Are you insured or not? We don't know. It just depends on the insurers.
Buy that car without a garage.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't think so.
Okay, so you're not going to buy that car without a garage. Yeah. But at the same time, you want to leave it out because it's solar panels.
But if there's a hailstorm...
If there's a hailstorm, no, you're not going to go out. Plus, if you live in somewhere like Quebec where there's actual snow, you want to keep it in the garage when it's done charging because that thick ice layer sucks. Like the one you need to get your scraper out for. That one, that one. So you're gonna need to scrape it. You're really gonna need to scrape it, and already scraping your windshield is already like super, super. I hate that. That's why I moved to British Columbia, and that's why this podcast is broadcasted live at 12 p.m. Vancouver time from Monday to Friday with myself, Piper, and
Sigh.
woohoo, which is the researcher on. And if you have questions about solar cars, make sure that you tell us in the live comment section or in the comments so that we can research them and talk about it. This is so interesting. Solar car, myth busted. Let's talk about this more. RP says hail and hurricanes can ruin anything, even the car. According to climate change wackos, the whole world would have hail next week. What's that movie? You know, there was a movie. It's called The Day After, and then this like huge chunk of ice just like fall on people in New York. Yeah, it was a great
It's
disaster
always
movie.
New York. New York always getting
It's
thrashed
always
in
New York.
movies.
Yeah, you
It's
have to.
always.
Yeah.
Even in Marvel movies, Avengers, how many times have they destroyed New York in every single movie?
It's always New York.
Yeah, and then they go back and like if people are like, "Oh, you're safe," yeah, but I don't have a city anymore. So I don't want to be
Where do I
safe.
live?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense. So that was a great movie. You know, they made me watch that movie in my ecology class. Yeah, I think this guy was like really onto the recycle kids, or later this is gonna happen. He was so right. He was like so right. Okay, Richard Heckley, thank you for being here. Then we have Chemist America Lifestyle, who says we need a Cybertruck glass for solar panel. So the Cybertruck, if you didn't know this, is well, not unbreakable per se, but it has a bulletproof sides, meaning that we need solar panels that would be bulletproof. I'm not sure, like, if we would need that. Maybe let's just not get guns, and we should be fine in that way. You do have to keep it clear of snow and ice. That makes a lot of sense. So we are talking about the Aptera, which is a solar car that is supposed to come very, very soon. People have kind of pre-purchased it already. Robin is one of them. Well, 20 years, then it failed, and then 3 years ago it started again. So we'll see if finally they're able to get it off the ground in that sense. So now, what are solar vehicles? I think we've kind of talked about all of this. And why would solar vehicles be a good thing for right now in 2024, at the time of recording this podcast? Well, mostly because of, you know, greenhouse gas emissions. We want to lower those. That's why we already have electric vehicles out there, because electric vehicles don't emit greenhouse gases. They just don't. And then, well, that would decrease fossil fuel and our dependency to fossil fuel. So that's a really interesting alternative to fossil fuel, but also maybe, yeah, diesel, gasoline, and even hydrogen, which is kind of costly to do and pollutes a lot because it takes a lot of energy to create that hydrogen. It's not like just in nature like this. For those of you who do like solar cars and who are waiting for solar cars because EVs is not doing it for you, much like Robin Petit, well, tell us why. Why aren't you jumping in on the EV? Why don't you have an EV before you can get a solar? What's waiting? Why are you waiting for that? Especially Robin. Robin, do you have an EV? Like, what's your current car? So your current car, get it? So electric. Woohoo! Yeah, because this podcast is brought to you by Two Girls, One Electric Car. And you can subscribe right here, right now. Super easy. So let's talk about the advantages and the challenges of such a car. I mean, we've discussed a little bit about it. One of these like advantages would be that sun is there. If you live in a desert, like somewhere like California, Arizona, Texas, I mean, the point is you have a lot of sun a lot of the time throughout the year, even like not that much rain, not that much snow, which makes it possible for you to recharge or refuel, however you want to call it, your solar panels without needing to spend much money. You just put the car out and it's gonna fill itself up. Now, this is not like super fast. It's not yet a fast process from what we've heard and read in the live comment section. Well, getting a solar panel and refueling it in that way is long. It's not a supercharger. I mean, it's not already there. RP says only a genius could drive EV.
What?
Well, okay, this is so weird. Well, thank you very much. I'm happy I'm a genius. This is great because I do own an EV. Robin Petit says Aptera is very smooth and should not react to wind. Now, something can hit it, I guess. Well, of course, there's always a bird, you know, or a cat. or something. You're on the road. Something's gonna hit it at one point, or you're gonna hit something. It can be a leaf. It can be, I don't know, stuff. Stuff is on the road. I mean, we've all been on the road, right? Thank you, Sai, for putting the Amazon wishlist on there. If you do want to support us, you can get one of the things on our Amazon wishlist. We just drop the link in the live comment section. You can also add things in there when we go and do road trips or little short videos, how-tos, informative videos about, well, our electric vehicle. We take stuff that is in the Amazon wishlist to make our journey better and, well, to review it for you to know also. So thank you very much for those of you who have gone and checked the Amazon wishlist and added things. If you feel generous, just click on that, buy it, and then we'll receive it and we'll make a video just for you. Robin says that, yeah, the Aptera is very smooth in the wind. It has a very ergonomic design, like a very cutting through the wind design type of design. I guess this is normal because, again, you don't want to store so much battery power that it would make the vehicle more heavy. So you want to make sure that that lightness of the vehicle makes it so that it's cutting through the wind. That way you get less air resistance. A bit like that's why maybe some people said that the tires are inside the car. So they're actually covered tires. Because, well, you don't want that. You don't want that. You're just trying to, like, make it so it does not spend energy, the less possible. So all the energy that you have stored in your battery, well, gets used for driving and nothing else to get you from point A to B. Now, the challenges, Chris Pankage says, challenges would be getting cold rolled and not having an EV laugh at you. But I mean, this is a challenge. Some people who own electric vehicles get cold rolled, meaning they get like this cloud of diesel fumes from people. But does that really, like, is it really that bad? Is that like a real challenge? What would you do in that scenario, Sai? Would you be okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm cool. Plus, everything new always gets laughed at by something before it. It's a rites of passage. You're becoming an adult. It's a good thing.
You're getting there. You're getting there. Robin Petit says they designed the solar panels to continue to work even if individual sales fail. Yeah, because that's another thing that we've seen with some solar panels in the past, is that if you have a shadow or something, all these cells, of course, they don't work, or they work a lot less. And then it was a bit like, if you remember this, if you were a kid in the 80s, well, you know, these Christmas lights. So if you would have one Christmas light that would break, the whole entire set would not work. So you need to find that one light that was broken, or that one light that was unscrewed in a wrong way. And then, like, you would find it, and then it would make the whole Christmas light set work. But there was a bit like that at the beginning. Now I guess they're getting there. They're getting there. They patented the design. Of course they did. I mean, this is a weird design too. If you haven't seen the Aptera, make sure you Google it right now while we're talking about it, because it's a funky car. I mean, it's a car of the future type of car. Like the Smart was weird, but this is like next level weird.
Just an FYI, the link is expired for the wish list. So people can't use it. You'll have to create a new link.
Okay, perfect. We'll create a new link. Thank you, Robin, for saying that. We're going to create a new link very soon. Bacardi Bob. The most R&R, so we're talking for solar cells, is done in space exploration. Any real breakthroughs would be found there. That makes sense because in space, like, they have sun, right?
I think so. Last time it was in space.
Yeah.
It's pretty direct.
It's pretty direct sunlight. so you kind of get like all the stuff you don't want to get and want to get from the sun. You get all of that all the same time. And so that makes it so it's a great energy source. Because nothing kind of comes between you and the sun unless the planets align, you know. But you can always like move your satellite and your space station to somewhere else, I'm guessing.
Catch the sun.
To catch more sun. Just if. So the thing being that a solar car would be very similar to an EV, yeah, in many sense. Thing is, like we said, renewable energy, so you get free sun. Nobody is making you pay for the sun so far. If you get a panel, you can just take that solar panel and then even recharge a battery with that, and this battery could be used to recharge your Aptera or your solar vehicle because it has an EV, it has a battery in it. Some electric vehicles even use what Tesla has made, which is like a solar panel and then their Powerwall battery, so that you can recharge your EV on solar. So you are kind of that super cool person. Now, the operating cost, meaning like how much would it cost you to operate such a vehicle? Well, EVs have lower maintenance costs than gasoline vehicles just because they have less moving parts, which we've discovered and discussed in a previous podcast. If you're interested, just go to our podcast playlist, which is called While You Wait for your electric vehicle to charge, and or for your wife to be ready. That happens. Wives take a long time to get ready, makeup, hair, all of that. You listen to us an hour and a half from Monday to Friday at 12 p.m. Vancouver time, and then if you miss it, you can just click it. Yeah, it's always there. After that, well, the maintenance costs for Teslas have been shown to be the lowest maintenance cost of all vehicles compared, which is crazy. So I don't know about solar panels and how much it would cost to replace them, but again, if you're not counting this battery replacement, the rest of the maintenance on an EV is really cheap, less moving parts. The dream of any engineer. And then the cool thing about solar panel would be off the grid. Yeah, this is such a thing. Meaning that if you do have a solar panel and you can put it anywhere, a bit like Robin was saying, you just open the solar panel, if there's sun, of course, and then you can recharge anywhere, anytime. If there's sun, you're good to go. So you're completely off the grid like that. You can be, as long as you have a battery to store that energy in real time, either you put it in the car right away or you put it in another battery and then this battery recharges your car. You're free. You're off the grid. What do you think about being off the grid, Sai? Does it do something to you?
It's nothing good. I don't want to be off the grid.
No, you want to stay
I'm
in
not
the
that
grid.
point in my life right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too much in the grid. It's a problem.
You want to stay in the city and be in the grid.
Yeah, I want to be like people. I want to be up in people's business, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So no off the grid for Sai right now. Perfect. So if you want to be not like Sai, you can totally be more off the grid with a solar panel or a solar car in that sense. But that doesn't mean that you can't do it with an EV. EV would have the same capabilities if you just buy a solar panel, store that energy in a battery, and then we'll convert it or like transfer it, let's call it like that, to your actual electric vehicle, which is totally doable, and Tesla's already doing it with their solar panel and the Powerwall.
So we can just answer Chemist American Lifestyle about the Amazon wish list. We can definitely add stuff that will be Kwame approved.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally Kwame approved.
And he's also asking if people without Amazon, I don't think you have to have an Amazon account.
Yeah, you have to have an Amazon account.
Yeah.
You can create it. You don't have to have an Amazon Prime account. You don't need to be paying for Amazon.
You can have a free account.
Exactly. You can have a free account. As long as you have an account, they want to verify that you're true, because you're going to need to pay for that but just add to the list. So they need to make sure that you're a real person in that way. So you don't spam other people. So thank you very much for asking all these amazing questions. Now we have Robin Petit, who says, my first job was at Goddard Space Flight Center. I don't know what that is. Is it cool?
That's in Maryland. It's the NASA Space Center.
Oh, okay. So Robin has like some crazy experience, or he says. But Robin, you haven't told us, what are you driving right now? Like, what are you driving? So either you work for Aptera, which you seem to be like really intense about. So either you work for them and you're trying to push it, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't mind. Or I mean, I don't know. What are you driving right now? What is your car? Because you want an Aptera so bad, but what's your actual car? RP says Aptera is what cars should look like in 2024. Well, if you were grown up in the like 70s,
I think that was the 2000.
Yeah, there was the 2000s, huh? Aptera is the 2000s car, which never happened. No, unfortunately. And the 2000s cars are just 2000s cars. They don't look like crazy futuristic. The Jetsons. It's so sad. They tried to make a few like crazy designs, but none of them really stuck. I mean, the Cybertruck is one of the craziest designs we've seen in a while for cars. The one that is like on the market, like there, in that sense. So Robin Petit adds that Aptera will charge about 120 to 150 miles via 120 volt, 15 amp circuit overnight. Overnight, that's like 12 hours. Exactly, overnight, no sun. That's just like an EV, right?
Yeah.
And then Aptera will beat that for the maintenance costs. We will see about that when it gets out. And it is released.
Where can you get it fixed?
Well, and where can you get it fixed? That's another thing. Tesla was super into it with infrastructure, but also all of their little Tesla centers, service centers, and Tesla comes to you most of the time. So they have this team, this crew that just comes and fix your car wherever your car is parked. This is just like that easy, which I'm guessing if Aptera are able to get enough money, they will probably copy that, because this is so great to have your car fixed when you're like on your lunch break or you're at work. Doesn't matter, they just come to your car. Chris Pankage says, beat me to that point. Good luck at a body shop repairing solar cells.
Getting something done.
Yeah. At the body shop. It's definitely it's gonna be interesting, that one. Gonna be interesting. So, okay, the limited range. We talked about this a little bit, but let's talk about it more. The fact that you need solar to actually refuel, and yes, I'm doing things with my fingers right now because not refuel, but that means that you can also charge it with as an EV, meaning that the Aptera would maybe be able to charge at Tesla superchargers, which is what you would definitely want, because Tesla superchargers have been known to be pretty great. I mean, they work most of the time. They're everywhere. So if you want to get somewhere, usually Tesla superchargers are going to be your best bet. If you own an electric vehicle or a plug-in hybrid, anything that's plug-in, you want to get to those and be able to charge to those. All the other companies are not so bad. It's not what I'm saying. It's just that we've seen some videos in the past few weeks stating that most times people have a lot of problems at other infrastructures. And since it's not always sunny, you will need to charge it normally as a regular EV. Now, this is what is interesting. So challenges and limits. Well, limits would be the fact that even though you have a solar panel, there's possibilities that you won't be able to use it all the time. So you will just become an EV. Most like some people who have, like me, who had the Chevy Volt, I was just using it as an EV. I was never putting gasoline, which is really bad for it. So at one point I decided to sell it, because you need to run it on the gas, or else the generator is just gonna stuck. You know, it's gonna stick. Robin adds, the newest Prius does have a solar cell option, but it gets about 5 miles a day. And again, that's if you're in direct sunlight. Yeah, it is good. No, I drive a small Mitsubishi and I can get about 40 to 45 mpg. I had the first Prius, but it died due to a mouse. Well, that's an interesting story. What did the mouse do to your Prius? I mean, mouse is...
We need to know that.
Yeah, we need to know more.
It ate the power cable.
Oh, it in space. So I purchased a small Mitsubishi to get great gas mileage. Oh, most people like boring cars. That's from RP. Well, most people don't have the means to buy a Ferrari. So it's not that it's boring or not. It's just
But
like...
what makes them Mitsubishi is not EV, right?
I'm not sure. He didn't say which Mitsubishi he has.
So what makes I wonder them buy a Mitsubishi that's a gasoline car? Why no electric car before the solar comes out?
Exactly. Why no EV? There are plenty of choices of EVs out there right now that would be, I guess, probably close to the same price range. But I have to say Prius is pretty cheap. Like, it's pretty cheap compared to most EVs out there. 40,000, right? The base. So 40,000 would be the base, and then if you go Tesla Model 3 and here in Canada, you're looking at $60,000. So that's a full electric. But if you go to like Hyundai or something like that, you can find a bit cheaper, like close to 30,000. Robin says, no, it's not EV, as I was trying to make sure I had plenty of money to buy the Aptera. Yeah, the Aptera. How much is the Aptera? We looked at it. It was pretty cheap. We saw like 35,000.
With all the things that...
How much money did they put in there?
Yeah, how much money do you need to put when you reserve the Aptera? That's a great idea.
Robin, how many did he put?
Yeah, how many did you put, Robin, in the Aptera project? Did you invest also, or are you just like actually buying the Aptera?
And can you buy it with upgrades and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's different things. There's like 3-wheel, 2-wheel.
Yeah, and he's getting a
drive.
3-wheel. So, like, how much did you pay for like all your version of it?
Yeah, your version with the upgrades and all that. We want to know. This is interesting. Okay, great. Dependence on sunlight means that, yeah, it's dependent on sunlight, yes and no. Because again, the solar car in the way of the Aptera would be an EV. It's an EV. You can plug it also. If you're really only on a solar panel, then that's completely different. That would be a completely different challenge. I mean, like that guy that flew in the plane with only solar. This is completely different. I'm not sure we're there yet, or I'm not sure we'll be there soon for only solar and no battery and no plug-in. So Robin says Aptera is $33,000. I'm guessing USD. Which I am getting, yes. I also invested about $12,000 in the Aptera project. Okay, so totally, that's a lot of money to put into a vehicle.
Yeah, that's like a total of $45,000 that he's invested in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, again, if you do try to find an EV that's close to $33,000, I mean, that's pretty cheap for an EV. And I know this one is solar, and it's not just like electric, but that's pretty cheap price point. Like even Tesla with their Model 3, they're trying to get it lower, and they are getting it lower. Like they said that they were gonna put that price way down so that more people could buy it, and also to compete with the Chinese market, right? Yeah, we want to compete with that. So you need an efficient storage solution, of course, because you need these solar panels to be able to get that light and then store it. So you need a good battery, meaning all of the tech that we're developing for EVs will definitely serve the solar cars. Like it's same but different, right? Now, all this battery technology, which will make it more efficient and will make like the solar panel more efficient too. So a bit like Bacardi Bob said, if all of these solar panels, we're using them mostly in space, but we want to get all that technology from the solar panels, put it on the car, but also mix it with the battery. It's like a 2-in-1 thing. If you have really bad solar panels, well, it's going to affect the car as much as you have a really bad battery. In that sense. This is so interesting. Okay. Chemist America Lifestyle says, IMO? Laughing my ass off. Okay. Aptera needs FSD to help its safety ratings because it's considered a motorcycle.
IMO means in my opinion.
Oh, okay, great. Perfect. With FSD, it will no longer be a safety concern because nobody can hit it. In my opinion. Okay, great. So meaning that the Aptera is considered a motorcycle, because we've seen these 3-wheeler motorcycles. There was like the T-Rex that was really popular.
Oh, so it's a motorcycle. It's not a proper car?
Well, maybe it's been deemed to be a motorcycle because it's too small.
But how many people can fit in it?
I think only 2.
And you need to wear a helmet.
And you need to wear a helmet?
Because it's deemed as a motorcycle. So.
Yes, it's not safe enough.
Oh, okay.
To be, well, it's not safe enough. This is interesting. You need to wear a helmet in 47 states to operate it. That is correct. Oh, very interesting. So the Aptera would be more like a motorcycle. Again, if you have a family, maybe you don't want that because it's too small, for one. There's only 2-seater. And then it's on the cheaper side, but a motorcycle that costs you $33,000 is definitely like not cheap. It's called a autocycle. No helmet. It is fully enclosed. Well, we are having a debate right here and now. Okay, let's do this. So Chris Pankage says that you need a helmet in 47 states to operate it, and then Robin is saying that no helmet as it is fully enclosed. Aptera can slow charge anywhere in an emergency. Well, of course, because it has the solar panel on it, and then it also has a plug-in, so you can plug the battery in a wall, just like you could an EV, right?
Everything about EV is about emergency. You're gonna get stuck. But
Yeah. You don't get stuck. It's true. Everybody freaks out that
there's a lot of like conflicting information on this helmet thing.
Oh yeah.
The Aptera itself says that it's not true. You just need a driver's license.
Okay.
Which is to drive any car, you need one. So
Yeah,
thank you,
because
Aptera.
motorcycles have a different driver's license. I have 2 driver's licenses. I have one for the car.
It is classified as an autocycle.
So that's like a normal driver's license for automobiles, not for motorcycles, right? Because it's different. There's 2 different.
No,
So,
they majority of the states require you only have the regular driver's license.
okay. Okay, so you don't need your motorcycle driver's license because that's hard to pass, I have to say. Like, you need to be good. Like, the motorcycle driver's license is intense. It's really intense. You will need an helmet in NC. That's like New Kentucky? New Jersey? I don't know what NC is. But okay, perfect. Chris Pankage says, as site states differently, states 47 states. Okay. Robin says, helmets are needed if the cockpit is open. Aptera looked into it and has negotiated with multiple states. No helmet motorcycle, that's from RP. Here in North Dakota, helmet is optional. And then Bad Drivers of New York City Tesla Edition says North Carolina. Okay, great, North Carolina. Thank you very much for that.
Optional, and so the seatbelt.
Yeah, optional. Everything's optional. So helmet optional, seatbelt optional. I mean, yeah, life optional. You really want life
Some
optional.
states make you think that life should be optional. You contemplate whether I should be there or not. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Maybe that's one of these times where you're not sure. The thing is, well, so far from what we gathered, you might need a helmet, might not. You definitely need a seatbelt. I mean, that's a thing. Like, you need a seatbelt everywhere. But if it is a motorcycle, motorcyclists don't have a seatbelt. That way they can just run away whenever something happens. And the other thing is, well, so far you need a normal driver's license, meaning a vehicle driver's license. When you have a motorcycle, you need a special motorcycle's license. You need to pass like the theoretical and the practical test with a motorcycle, which is completely different. Okay, Miss America Lifestyle says, here in North Dakota, helmets is optional even on motorcycles. Yeah, it's great.
Really?
Darwin is super happy about that. Okay, so the Aptera has seat belts and front airbags. Well, I hope so. This makes sense. Bad Drivers of New York City Tesla Edition, well, was there at the beginning of this channel and says, congrats on growing your channel, by the way. Thank you so much for the congratulations. Very nice to see you educating everyone on EVs. Well, nice to see you too. I mean, you post a lot of stuff on your channel as well, but we're always happy to like collaborate and like do shout outs. So make sure that you're there in the live comment section. If you have your own EV YouTube channel, we just want to get this conversation going, talk to everybody about it. And this is quite fun and entertaining because while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge, which does not yet take less than an hour for everybody, well, you can listen to our podcast from Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. And if you miss it, because you're not in Vancouver, you're working, you're waiting for your girlfriend, I don't know, you can always listen to it whenever you want in the podcast playlist called While You Wait. Super easy. Now let's talk about the current applications. So we talked about solar panels, we talked about solar cars, we talked about solar planes, but it's true that right now there's only the Aptera that seems to be like a possible viable one, but it's not there yet. It's not here. Some people have tested it. These big YouTube channels have like driven in it, but that's a bit like, you know, very, very, very not yet there. We don't have like millions of people who are driving it everywhere all the time. That's what's being said about this. But it seems to be one of the possible options for now. And because we're talking about EVs, either Aptera has invested a lot of money in click farms and people are just commenting on our channel because of that, or some real people are really waiting for the Aptera to come out because it seems to be like the Lord and Savior of electric vehicles for some reason. I'm not sure I grasps. Yeah, growing the page. Thank you, Carl. Everyone likes the live. Oh, well, thank you. So far, yeah, we're getting really good stats from our live podcasts. Even after they're live, people seem to like tune in again and listen to them, which helps a lot the channel because we are not yet monetized, but we are working on it. So every time you listen in or you watch one of our podcasts, we are getting these watch times hours and we're almost halfway there. We're good with our subscribers because that's kind of gaining every single day, but watch time hours, those are the toughest to get, people, toughest to get.
Oh, I also have a dad joke at the end.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, Sai reserves for us a dad joke at the end of every podcast now, so you better stay here with us so that you can hear it because they're really funny. And yes, this to go with all the daddy issues that we talked about in Wally. Okay, what are the real applications of solar right now? Like Bacardi Bob said, in space they use it a lot. We don't really use it on cars yet. I mean, you can buy Canadian Tires or Home Depot. You can buy little solar panels to put in your car to charge your phone or stuff like that. I mean, if you go camping, there's a few things that are solar panel powered, so that's also a possibility. Vehicles, not as much, except for the Aptera. Now, we did have a comment that stated that there is a Yaris. I think it was a Prius. A Prius.
I haven't seen it in Canada.
It's not in Canada yet for some reason, which happens a lot. But that Prius could get 5 miles per day with the solar panel if you take that extra solar panel thing on it. So this is interesting. And then, we are seeing solar panels on drones. Yeah, that's another thing. So some drones are solar panel powered, but those drones are mostly like for surveillance and remote areas, meaning that if you need to go somewhere and you can't change the battery halfway because like you want to send the drone somewhere super far, that could work out in these remote areas. So that being said, I mean, I own a few drones, but they're all DJI drones and they don't have solar panels. They just have the battery. So after 20 minutes or so, if it's not like too windy, you need to bring it back home and you need to recharge. That's why I bought 2 battery packs. Okay. Robin Petit. It will be the efficiency king that is the Aptera. It is worth waiting for me, and they now have a good source of funding to get to production. Solar is used to power lights. Solar can be used to anything, really. Solar is just an energy source. I mean, you can use water, you can use wind, you can use solar. Doesn't really matter. Then it's converted, this energy is converted into like electricity in that sense. And then the electricity is in the battery, and then you use that to power the electric motor for the wheels, pretty much, for the wheels. So efficiency, I mean, I don't know. I am not an engineer. I'm not like a mechanical engineer for one, or like a battery chemist engineer, but I believe that like anything could be used for that. Efficiency wise, I don't know how efficient it would be. What do you mean? Like the solar panel is more efficient at getting energy than anything else in the world? I don't know.
We need to find new technology.
I think
it's a slow thing.
It's a slow thing. That's what we talked about at the beginning of this podcast, and that was that solar panels, yes, have upgraded, but we need better solar cells. We need like for it to like be able to absorb more energy and then transfer that into electricity or store it into electricity in that way. That's totally a thing. Or a more powerful sun. So let's just make the sun explode, right? This is not a great idea. Not a great idea. No, we don't want that. I think someone is working on solar panel planes. Well, there's already a plane that won something for that. So everybody's, of course, there's some scientists out there or some grad students that are working on solar panels. I think it's still there because of renewable energy, because of climate change, because of where we're at in the world. You want to get to that point where we're going to have just more options, you know, not just that one option. And we're not going to go to Mad Max type of era where there's no more gasoline. So far, there's enough gasoline. That's not the problem. It's like greenhouse emissions that there's too much of. So we want to reduce that. And something like solar power or, anything that is electric seems to work better in general. Okay. Now, let's jump into the future because, let's do a jump in the future. I mean, we did talk about WALL-E. WALL-E, ever. So that means that what is going to happen in the future? We don't even know if Aptera is going to come out. Like, there's a chance they kill the project again. Well, we don't know, right? They say they're going to get it out and people are paying, but...
The problem with solar, it's just like you can make electricity with your kitchen sink with a little generator.
Yeah.
But, you need to open it, and there's a limit.
There's a limit.
That's why I'm saying powerful sun.
You need a more powerful sun.
You're not going to get that.
Okay.
Yeah. Our poor sun is doing its best.
Our sun is doing its best,
right?
right?
Doing its best.
Yeah. It's trying really hard.
It's trying. It's like, I got 5 billion years left. What do you want me to do? I'm not young anymore.
The sun is not young anymore.
We cannot invent a photovoltaic cell better than.
Yeah, it can't be that much better, the photovoltaic cell. That's what we're going to see with new technologies, or if we find more sun power. So maybe we need Team Sun. That's from RP. I'll send some Lupia when you get monetized. Oh, thank you very much. I don't know what Lupia is,
it's
but...
the currency, maybe Philippines?
Maybe. Oh, it's Philippine currency. Yeah, because when we get monetized, we'll have access to super tanks and super chat, which will make you possible for you to sponsor us or help us grow this channel and for us to invest more in the channel.
It's the spring rolls from China and from Philippines.
Oh, it's a spring roll. I like spring rolls. You like spring rolls?
No worries. You can send those too.
We love spring rolls. Thank you very much for sending spring rolls. You can send those too. Or you can go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/2girls1electric-car. We accept patronages all the time. $2.97 USD per month to support us into making more awesome podcasts and videos on our YouTube channel. Thank you to all of our patrons. Now, RP says up to 40-mile range base model and up to 1,000 on an upgraded model. Yeah, that's the Aptera. Will have the highest efficiency because 1,000 miles is true that is a lot bigger than what we get right now with EVs. But keep in mind that EVs are getting there. Like we're getting new EV models too. So the promise of 1,000 miles is pretty intense. Like it's pretty intense. Because so far I think the furthest we have is 402 miles with the Tesla Model S, but that's in Tesla models. There's other models that have way more. I'm not sure if it was the Mitsubishi or the Hyundai. There's one model that has like a lot more. I think it was like something like 600 miles of range as an electric vehicle. So we will get to that 1,000 miles in the EV sector for sure. A bit like a truck or diesel or cars could get just a bigger tank. So you fill it up more and you get more range. It's kind of that easy. Robin Petit says, I plan to get an RV, perhaps the Pebble Flow. Okay, so you're getting like the Aptera and then you're getting an RV. What's that Pebble Flow side? Can we Google this? Who's Pebble?
Yeah, who is Pebble?
I try not to spend my money prior to retirement. Well, that makes sense if you want to enjoy your retirement in that way. Michael Luder says hello. Well, hello, Michael. Thank you very much.
Electric travel trailer.
Oh, so it's a travel trailer. So it's like an RV. It's like you can sleep in it?
Beep. It looks so cool.
Yeah, can you drive it or do you just attach it to something else?
I think you have to attach. It has to.
It's just a trailer, right?
It's just a trailer.
Okay, it's a trailer. Well, I mean,
wow, it looks very cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks pretty cool.
Okay, is it out or it's not out yet?
I don't think it's out. It's a pre-order. You can pre-order.
Yeah, it's not out yet. So Robin, nothing that you're buying is out yet. And Robin says BYD has a 600 miles range, but it uses a Chinese mileage model. What? How is mileage different? Like 600 miles? Isn't it 600 miles? Like miles? A mile is a mile?
Isn't a mile in China and here?
It's like 1,000 pounds of feathers and 1,000 pounds of bricks. It's still 1,000 pounds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're just gonna need more space for the feathers than you're gonna need space for the bricks, probably.
Exactly. Maths everywhere the same.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm not sure I get that, but okay. Chemist America Lifestyle says solar will be the leapfrog, but the flux capacitors.
Why the fuck?
The flux capacitor, that's from, Back to the Future, right? That's the thing that makes the car DeLorean go in the future.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I had
So the leapfrog. So solar, you think when we discover solar, we'll discover the time frame continuum and we'll be able to traverse through time and space, just like in the Outer Limits. This is gonna be great. Okay, I can't wait for this. Aptera is 1,000 miles slow drive. Slow drive. That's the thing. How fast can you go with lots of sun and a small battery? Interesting. So that's why we're talking about the future outlook. What does it really look like? The China model is more generous in assumption. So the BYD is likely closer to 550 miles. Okay, so the thing is, every time an EV company or even a gasoline company, like car manufacturer, says that you can do, by running it at 100 kilometers per hour, let's say, in your tank, you can do 600 kilometers. Let's say like that. Well, this is perfect road conditions without you like blasting the AC. So it's never really that tight. Like they give you the best outlook ever, which is never like that in real life. You're always going to get less.
It's always cold.
Because your wife is always cold, right? And while your wife is cold, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and make sure that you're there at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, that's Vancouver time from Monday to Friday to listen to the podcast while it is live. Yeah, because while you wait, we are here to entertain you. Super cool. Okay, so what else I have got here is the infrastructure. Yeah, we talked a little bit about this, but the thing is, if you do have solar, it's not necessarily infrastructure that you're gonna need, but you're gonna need sun. So you're gonna need to be somewhere where the sun is mostly always available. And then you're gonna need to be somewhere where there is infrastructure to plug it if there is no sun in that way. So if Aptera and Tesla do like some sort of a team up and you're able to charge at any supercharger, Tesla supercharger, it's gonna be a pretty cool thing. Then, if that does not happen, there's still more EV chargers all over right now, Canada and the USA, that are not Teslas. So that could make it possible for Aptera to really kind of, you know, get out there without having its own infrastructure in that sense. Then, well, okay, there's always this like super futuristic thing that everybody talks about, and that would be for any type of EV to recharge while it's driving. And that's a bit what the Aptera is, you know. If you have a solar panel, it's actually charging the battery while you're driving. So you're not depleting all of that. A bit like with the regenerescence like of the braking. So when you're going downhill with an EV, usually you're recharging your battery. It's taking some of that energy, it's putting it like in the wheels, and it's regenerating or recharging your battery. It's not crazy, but you can get a few miles out of it depending on how low you're going, how you're going downhill. But again, usually if you're going downhill, when you come back, you're gonna need to go up. So it's this is the for driving EVs is not the same. There's no perpetual energy. You're gonna lose some all the time. It's gonna happen. Robin Petit says Aptera has used conservative estimates for the daily mileage in solar charging. Well, good for them. There are concepts to use induction coupling to charge EVs through the road surface. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Meaning that some people want to get there where we would not need to charge at home, where the streets would just kind of charge the car. Either that is, well, solar, which is kind of already can happen if there's sun, or if it's an EV, well, due to, yes, induction, you could charge. But so far it's not working. It's very slow. It doesn't give you much, and you really need to be on the right, like you need to be on top of it at the right spot, or else it doesn't do it. It's very like it's very sensitive in that way. So charging in motion, that's definitely exactly what we're talking about. Charging in motion would be the best. That way you're not really losing anything. You're just always charging. But perpetual energy in that sense. We want to go there. Stay right here because Sai's got a joke for you, but not right now. No, it's not over. So let's talk about the impact on society that such a vehicle would have, right? If we get out there and we actually get to a point where the Aptera is available, like a solar car, well, how would that impact your life? Like, would you buy it? Some people say yes, some people say no. I mean, would you buy the Aptera when it's out? Because right now you're kind of investing into that idea, but it's not out yet. So RP says induction charging, no. Let's figure out conventional charging first. Well, we're pretty good at conventional charging, but it would be great if we could charge our EVs within like 5 minutes. As long as it takes for a gas car to fill up, it would be great if EVs could charge as fast. Then there would be like no you would just want to buy an EV. Why else would you do it? Right now, the only like downfall of an EV is that it takes long to charge. That's the only thing. There's really nothing else about an EV that is making you doubt buying it. Like some people say batteries, but batteries are going to be interchangeable very soon and they're going to cost a lot less to change. So that's a thing. Production of Aptera should start end of this year or early next year. Yeah, that's always what they say. Like, we've been waiting for the Cybertruck how long before it came out? So we hope so. But again, until it's there, I'm not putting dates. I'm not putting dates. I mean, it's cool to be optimist. It's great, and we should be optimists. And as companies like Elon Musk, Tesla, or Aptera, they should have a deadline because that just helps you push through as fast as you can. But for me, as like the person possibly buying this product, I just
what if the product never comes to market? What happens with all the backers?
Well, yeah, sometimes
they lose it.
Sometimes they have some clauses which makes it so that this money was reinvested into trying the project, a bit like Indiegogo and things like that. So you lose the money. You're not refunded for that.
So what about Aptera? Are they going to be refunded?
No.
No. Because
No.
it goes into making the product.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the risk of early investment.
Yeah, it's the
Oh.
risk of early investment.
It's like when we invested in the
Yeah, like invested in a little cup that was supposed to be super cool, have Bluetooth capabilities, but it's never got my money back because it's you invest, you want the project, this idea to become a thing. If it doesn't, well, it doesn't, and you still invested in an idea. It's great. Robin Petit said, I will post on your channel when delivery starts. Yes, please do. Keep us informed about the Aptera. And RP says, Aptera would have some of the fun of a motorcycle without dying. Well, motorcycles are pretty intense in general. But again, I don't do motorcycle to do like road. I do motorcycle to do forest. So that for me is not a thing that I would like. The reservation charge, it puts into a special fund and people will get that back if it fails. Okay.
That's what all they say.
Well, that is what everybody says, right? And then when it fails, they have some special clauses that make it so nobody gets their money back. I mean, I hope some people are going to get back, but in general, if they... Okay, so Robin Petit says, I got my $500 back way back 18 years ago when they failed. Well, good for them to sticking to their word. We hope they still do that. Again, just be made aware that sometimes if a company goes down, it goes down and you're not going to get that money back. It's a possibility. KV says, I really hope Aptera makes it. They do seem very transparent and honest. They have a great YouTube as well. Oh, thank you for sharing that, KV. Well, go check it out. Okay, this is going to be fun. So why would you buy the Aptera, or why would you buy a solar car? Like, so far, air pollution is going to go way down because it's just like an EV, so you don't pollute as much. Then the fact that it's solar means renewable energy, so you're literally getting that solar energy. If you're not plugging it, never. Now, if you plug it at home and then this energy that you're getting from your home, let's call it like that, from the grid where you live, is non-solar. It could be from other things like coal and all of that, but still it's been proven that if you have an EV, you're still polluting less than ICE vehicles, so gasoline vehicles. So it's always, in a sense of ecology and like the climate, this is good. This is good.
I'm for EV solar roof.
Yeah, for all
Even for
EVs.
just 1 mile. It's
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah, for all EVs to have a solar roof, just 1 mile would be better than nothing. Just to have an EV roof and have, a solar roof on all EVs, then you could get that 1 mile more. Just 1 mile.
While you're
Yeah.
eating McDonald's.
While you're
like
eating-
half a mile, I don't care.
It's, well, you know, so I tried this one charger at a place like called Safeway, and that gives you like not even a mile per hour.
Yeah.
Because it's so low, the electricity there. So that would be kind of the same thing. At least you're charging it.
It's better than that.
It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. So if it's a possibility, I think everybody's gonna take that possibility if it doesn't cost way more in that sense. Now the other thing would be that it makes you less dependable on the grid in that way. So you would have this solar panel, which is awesome, and you could have also if you're in a place where it's already solar, like there's already lots of light. Well, you could get a solar panel and then this battery pack and just recharge and then be completely off the grid with your Aptera, much like an EV. Same but different. What about developing countries and things like that? So some countries or some remote locations have a lot of harder time accessing those fossil fuel or those, like, I don't know, just like fuel in general. Yeah. So by having solar energy, solar power, well, that could make it possible to them to be a bit more independent.
That's good.
And to have a possibility there, because like taking all the gasoline and like shipping it, even electricity, if you don't have like water electricity where you're at or something like that, you could get it from coal, but that would still be very polluting. So having solar panels there could be like a better solution and make these remote regions or these developing countries will be more independent in that way and be able to grow without the need to carry and do other things. Yeah. So Robin Petit says, assuming Aptera succeeds, they do plan to make 4-seaters and SUVs. That makes sense. I mean, of course they do, because it's a big market, the automobile industry. They need that. I haven't heard any detail yet of those, but they are 2 years or so out. Thank you for sharing. Okay, solar panels to charge the battery up in store for when you need to use it. Yeah, that would work too. Like if you have solar panels to charge it, it makes a lot of sense. Sai, You got something for us, right?
I do. Why did the sun get grounded?
Why did the sun get grounded? It was... Why did the sun get grounded? It was too bright? It was... The sun was too... sunny? Okay, one last one. The sun was... creating too much flare? No, okay. You say it now.
It was caught throwing shade. Thank you. That was my high point. Thank you so much.
The sun was caught throwing shade. That's why it's like, oh my god, so great. You wanna actually what is Chemist America Lifestyle says? I think it's a joke. You wanna read it, Sai?
Oh sure. What did EV car and ICE car got in Tim's?
At Tim Hortons? I don't know. What did they get?
A protein gas latte and EV juice matcha.
Okay, that's cute. That's cute. It's just because Tim Hortons is super Canadian, right? That's why we're doing this. Thank you, Chemist America Lifestyle. Now, tell us, would you purchase a solar car? I mean, Robin Petit already has. Tell us. No, it's okay. They're going to tell us in comments. Would you purchase the Aptera after everything we've been talking about for an hour and a half in this podcast while you wait for your EV to charge or for the Aptera to be out? Make sure that you tune in because I'm Piper and I'm with
Sai,
my awesome researcher, and we're here to entertain you and bring you the latest news or fun information about electric vehicles and the future of vehicles in general. We will see you in the next podcast. Until then, you can always click on us, share us, do anything you want with us on YouTube on Two Girls, One Electric Car. Oh yeah. I would still like to test drive the Aptera.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
it looks
too.
pretty special, right?
I would do it too.
Yeah?
I think I can do it.
Is it like a spaceship type of